What it took to build the walls. Throughout time, builders of defensive walls had it tough. The Qin and Han dynasties built their walls more than 15 centuries before machinery took a giant leap forward. The Ming missed out by just 2 centuries. Rammed earth was used in the earliest walls, including the Qin wall. Builders used the hang-to method of wall building. Soil was put in a wooden plank mold 1 layer at a time. Laborers then pounded each layer with a stone attached to a wooden rod. Walls made of soil that contained a lot of clay stood up best to erosion. Reinforced rammed earth was another type of building material. It was used during the early Han dynasty to build the Han Wall. To build the wall in the desert, soldiers used tamarisk reeds from local salt marshes. The woody reeds were layered between rammed earth and gravel. The Han Wall stretched for some 6,200 miles. It was almost 2,000 miles longer than the Ming Wall. A trench wall was the simplest wall of all. Workers dug a trench and used the soil they moved to make a 6-foot-tall barricade. Then, they filled the trench with water. That made it a moat that would stop charging horses in their tracks. This method was used to build a wall along the border of Inner Mongolia during the Jin dynasty from 1115 CE to 1234 CE. The Ming started using bricks to cover the surface of their rammed earth and rubble walls around 1570. Ming bricks were large. They measured 2 feet long, 9 inches high, and 5 inches deep. Clay was the best material, but workers had to make bricks from whatever soil they found. Bricks were used as the outside layer of the rammed earth core. That made the wall as solid as a rock. That also explains why, in many areas, the Ming Wall has stood the test of time. Giant stone slabs used for wall foundations were carved out of granite and hauled into place. Pause point. What words would you use to describe the effort needed to build the walls of China? Goats, oxen, and donkeys hauled bricks and stones at the construction sites. A breed of goat found only in China's Shandong province pulled materials uphill. These dark brown goats are good climbers. Herds are still seen in Shandong today. They may even be descendants of the hard-working goats of many centuries ago. This image shows steep mountains along the course of the Ming Wall. They made it difficult to build the wall. Thousands of soldiers and civilians labored at least 6 months to complete a 600-foot stretch of wall. Kilns for baking bricks had to be built on the spot. Workers used wooden molds to make all the bricks the same size. The soil mixture was packed into the molds to dry. Then the bricks were baked. A huge section of rock supports part of the BADALING wall. That's the Ming Wall's most famous section. This construction is a good example of how the Chinese used natural barriers as part of their defenses. Grand castle fortresses were often built on the Ming Wall at mountain passes. Since they were on the tops of cliffs, they were easy to defend. So only a small force of soldiers was needed to fight off attacks. In the words of an old Chinese proverb, one warrior manning the fort denies entry to an army of 10,000. So now you know how the people of ancient China in the Ming Dynasty used the resources available to them to build lasting walls.